We're on the record in cause number 326814, the state of Texas versus Kevin Wayne Kirkland. Mr. Kirkland, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Kirkland, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? Okay, Mr. Kirkland, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Kirkland?
Doing pretty well.
Okay, that's good. Mr. Kirkland, the information states that on or about September 15 of 2019, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, you was charged with the Class B misdemeanor offense of driving while intoxicated. Do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir.
And to discharge, Mr. Kirkland, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest? Now, are you pleading no contest freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading no contest because you do not wish to fight or contest the charges?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kirkland, I have before me what has been marked as State's Exhibit number 1, the misdemeanor plea admonishment. Mr. Kirkland, do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
On page 2 of the same document, Mr. Kirkland, are these your initials down here?
Yes, sir.
And on the next page of the same document, Mr. Kirkland, is this your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
I have another document. This document is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal. Mr. Kirkland, is this your signature on the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
There's one box that's checked here. That box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. Do you see that?
Yes, sir.
Also have before me a document that is titled the discovery certification. Do you recognize this document?
Yes, sir.
And is that your signature above the line that says defendant?
Yes, sir.
Now, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney, Ms. Wheatonfield, go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir.
State, I have before me State's Exhibits number 1 and State's Exhibit number 2, which is the State's 2 is the probable cause affidavit, State's 1 is the misdemeanor plea admonishment. State, you like to offer States 1 and 2?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objection.
No objection. States Exhibits number 1 and 2 are admitted. Ms. Wheatonfield, you have advised and counseled Mr. Kirkland. Is there any evidence that he is currently mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir.
Mr. Kirkland, your attorney, Ms. Wheatonfield, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation, with her representation?
Yes, sir.
Has she provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Kirkland, I will accept your plea of no contest. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of no contest and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor, and it is for 180 days probated over 1 year probation, a $500 fine, 60 hours community service, and all of the standard conditions for a DWI first, not over 0.15.
Okay, all right. You see that judgment?
I haven't even typed it yet, Judge, I'm still doing.
Ms. Kirkland, Mr. Kirkland, rather. The state is offering that you serve 180 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you would not have to serve any time on the Jefferson County Jail for this case because you'll be on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs and perform 60 hours of community service. You will also be required to attend the DWI education course and all the standard terms and conditions of probation. Now, that there are some other fees, and I'll give those fees to you once we do the judgment. And then we'll ask you whether or not you'll be able to afford those fees, okay? So just hold on for a minute. Okay, we're back on the record. In cause number 326814, State of Texas versus Kevin Wayne Kirkland. Now, Mr. Kirkland, I mentioned to you what the state's offer was, and I also mentioned that there are some additional fees. And so what I'll do to go over the fees that you'll be required to pay as a condition of your probation. Now, the state is offering that you pay a $500 fine plus court costs, and the court cost is $402, which comes to a total of fine and court costs of $902. The probation fees is $60 per month. You also be required to pay a urinalysis fee of $15. And this comes to a monthly total of installments of $160 per month. Mr. Kirkland, would you be able to pay that amount over the probationary period?
Yes, sir.
Okay, and your probationary period, as we stated earlier, is 1 year, is 180 days probated for 1 year. All right, so Mr. Kirkland, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
And do you think that the state's offer is fair and just?
Yes, sir.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll follow the plea bargaining agreement that you have entered into with the state. Now, Mr. Kirkland, you also have to adhere to all the other terms and conditions of probation. All right, stand over here on the mark where your attorney is, and you will follow the instructions of the clerk. And have a good day.
Thank you.